She still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Sean Whaley is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
How we doing, kid? Welcome back. I got a little pep in my step because we are back. UFC 324. XK Picks episode 213. Today is Friday, January 23rd, 2026. Kid, a potential historic snowstorm coming here. 14 to 18 inches. How you doing? Keep it moving.
Yes, yeah. I think it's everywhere because we're supposed to get hit with like an ice storm.
Yeah, everywhere. The DMV, I have a friend in Virginia. He says he's going to get 17 to 20 inches.
Well, you saw Russia? Did you
No.
see the pictures at Russia? They had snow bigger than apartment buildings.
That's amazing. I love it.
Insane.
I
stuff,
love it.
man.
How you doing, kid?
Good, man. You know, I got to keep informed with all the events that take place outside of what we're going to discuss. You know, UFC 324, 6 long weeks for its return, and we're here. But our boys over at LFA, they're up to 225 events. One has their fight night 39 taking place tonight because both of those promotions knew better than to compete with the UFC's debut on Paramount Plus. So also tonight, Zuffa Boxing. So I mean,
our boy Julian Rodriguez.
Yeah, hammer hands, bro. On the other end of the TKO promotion for combat sports, you know, they're making their debut, as we said, not only Julian Rodriguez, but Callum Walsh. Callum Walsh is the main
He's
event.
headlining,
He's the headliner, so.
At the Apex too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where they're having it.
Interesting. So how many people are going to go?
I don't know. I did hear reports that the Apex are starting to sell tickets this upcoming year for certain fight nights, and they range anywhere from like $200 to $400. Like if you want really good seats, they're like $400, $500. But if you want like, I guess back, I don't even know the layout, but they said they're like around $200, which isn't terrible.
Bleachers, or just like if it's like that intimate setting Jake Paul had, like everyone was on like evil play. It was like a ballroom. Like that. It was like the old school, like boxing kind of vibe, like a ballroom. I guess maybe they could go for that, you know, but we recognize the Apex are having all those UFC fights. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to mold.
Well, if you guys have nothing to do tonight, like Joey said, Zuffa Boxing 01 tonight, headlined by Callum Walsh taking on Carlos Ocampo. So should be a good fight as well. So make sure you guys tune into that. By the way, you mentioned LFA. How did we do last week? We hit with the money line dog.
Yeah, dude. You got that one right. I went the opposite on. I was honestly, you know, Josiah Harrell. I thought he was a good fighter. But I went opposite. I went with the Kyrgyzstanian, and no, you got it right, bro. So good kudos to you. I went 1-1 though. I did get the main event correct.
What else did you bet on last weekend?
We had Octagon.
Shout
out Octagon. They hit you up. I went 1-1 there, but KSW, we teed it up. It was both main and co-main event via KO TKO, and went 2-0 there. And then in BKFC for 10 seconds left last week, Rico Desculo, he had that crazy knockout across the year. I don't know if you saw it, but BKFC taking a week off after that event, they got Knuckle Mania.
Let's go.
A week from now. Yeah.
I can't wait. I will be in the building for that in Philly at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, where the 76ers and some games Villanova plays there. Shout out Nova Nation. But Big Ben Rothwell, a year to the date where he won the title, taking on Hall of Famer, absolute legend Andre Orlovsky. Yeah. I can't wait, kid. It's going to be a hell of a fight.
He's a mountain of a man, you know. Yeah. I enjoy all the different boxing aspects. And hey, if you want to catch the one event coinciding with UFC is Raymond Murtala defending his IBF lightweight title against Andy Cruz, if you want to catch up with some other.
Did you say it was one of the Rotolo brothers?
No, Raymond Murtala. Yeah, this is boxing. Okay. This is IBF lightweight title. That's just going to take place as UFC. I don't think we're really going to be watching.
I was about to say, who?
I had to mention it, but yeah, it's going to be tough going head-to-head with UFC's return.
Do you know what the Rotolo brothers are up to? Are they still with one?
Yeah, it's just I think they're probably more focused on to mixed martial arts, but of course the jiu-jitsu is always there.
Oh, I mean, they're ridiculous.
They can easily just compete in the grappling. And I think they are technically champs there.
Well, last time I thought they did the Craig Jones Invitational, right? They didn't do the ADCC.
Yeah, I think the $1 million payout the first year they did it.
Well, isn't Craig Jones so petty where he goes, instead of $1 million, it's $1 million and one?
That's how you do it. Yeah. It's like that the Donald Trump deal, wasn't it? Just
Yeah. I love it though. I mean, that's funny as hell. But yeah. All right, kid. Well, we got a great episode, like Joe said. We got a great interview actually with Daniel Vreeland from Sports Gambling Podcast. He also does amazing articles at Top Turtle Podcast as well, Cage Side Press. So make sure you guys check him out. It's Gumpy Vreeland over on Twitter as well. We had a great in-depth talk about, RAF as well, the future of that. We break down a lot of the fights as well. So it's a really good interview, breaking down UFC 324 and all of his picks. We got some news towards the end of the show. A little boxing news as well between the Bronx Bomber, Deontay Wilder. So we'll talk about that. And then we got Joey will end us off with 10 seconds left. But before we do get to that interview with Daniel Vreeland, a quick word from our sponsor. We're brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. Is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick. Just got we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching UFC 324. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. I believe here at Axe Cake Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. And now, here is our interview with Daniel Vreeland. All right. Hey, Joe, that was a great interview with Daniel Vreeland. I mean, the guy's a wealth of knowledge. Really cool dude. And I was one of the things I texted him after the interview, I said, I love that your boys are wrestling, because I know that when we have kids, we're going to have our boys do wrestling as well.
Hey, the girls too.
Exactly.
Easily.
Girls too. Everybody. So when you have your family, I have mine. We're gonna because we grew up wrestling.
Yeah,
it's the best.
It's in our blood.
Yeah, so it literally is in our blood. So yeah, thanks again for Gump for coming on and breaking down the fights. One fight that we did listen to.
I was gonna say, the one we discussed.
Yeah, so let me do some cleanup, because obviously it was a pre-recorded interview, and one of his favorite was Cameron Smothering, but unfortunately, he made weight 135.5. However, he did collapse on the stage following the weigh-in. He was transported to the hospital. So that fight with him and Ricky Tercios is off. We do still have 12 fights remaining. 2 other fighters missed weight. Alex Perez missed weight by 2.5 pounds, but his bout between him and Carlos Johnson is off. He is forfeiting 25% of his purse. Davison Figueroa, he missed weight by 2.5 pounds as well, but him and Umar is on, and Davison Figueroa will forfeit 25%.
So of Umar and Figgy fight are still on, but you said Charles Johnson declined the fight?
No, it's on.
Oh, so both are on. It's just, of course, the scary sight with Smotherman.
100%. Yeah. That was, I guess, first reaction. We could start there because it was going to be one of the first fights. We still have Adam Figet and Ty Miller, but before we get there, kid, thoughts on the collapse? That was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that Paramount should make it a point to not have to see that again, right? Because I think we just got introduced to a whole bunch of new viewers, and the first thing they see is one of our professional athletes collapsing on a stage. I think it was a scary sight. All of us online were immediately asking for him to go to the hospital and not fight. Like, that fight has to be called off, and I'm glad they did the right thing there. But yeah, it's an absolute scary situation. These fighters cutting all this weight, this tremendous weight cut. Look at Pat and how he looked. Remnants of Conor McGregor cutting the amount of weight that he did to make 145. I mean, Pat, I wonder how Patty looked when he did make 145. Mind you, he was the double champ in Cage Warriors, but I guess you're younger. As you get a little older, you start filling in more of a body, which he certainly has. But yeah, that was a scary sight. And maybe some of the execs can get together and kind of debate on what to do. We always talked about weight classes. We always talked about maybe fighters fighting at their natural weights. Maybe not too much of a change in the weight classes, but something that protects them a little bit more.
What about hydration?
There's hydration tests for one, but sometimes they say that's like so petty, or it just seems like inconvenient, I guess. But maybe there is something to it. Like I think I've heard plenty of times where fighters made weight but failed the hydration test. So
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that
real quick, coming from wrestling, when we overhydrate, even though we're on weight, we could fail the hydration test
yeah,
because
it's both ways.
it's
It's either
diluted.
hydrated or if you're overhydrated. Yeah, no, you're exactly right about that. And I just think that there's a little nuance there that makes it difficult for both parties. I guess just a little navigation through the rule set that will change because that will come with a whole new set of rules if they do that.
Yeah. Well, we are praying for Cameron Smothering. I mean, that was a horrific scene. I didn't even want to see it. They were like zooming in. I was like, bro, turn the
It
thing.
was a
like,
great UFC weigh-in show, I think, to debut this year. But yeah, that was rough. I think for everyone it was more of a shock. And watching it live, it was like startling.
I mean, real quick on a positive note, that crew that they have for the weigh-in show is
Mint.
top notch. Yeah, they're very funny. So
Yeah.
that is one of the things that they do have going. But still, 12 fights remain, a ton of picks to get into. Remember, earlier start times on Paramount. 5 p.m. early prelims. Prelims go off at 7, and then main card 9 p.m. And us for Northeast guys, man, that feels good.
Yeah.
Honestly. So, Joe, why don't you lead us off? I have a ton of picks. I'll jump in when I do, but let's start in that welterweight.
Rattle them off. Exactly right there. Welterweight matchup. Ty Miller. We did briefly mention him. I think Dan was familiar with him, and maybe the odds makers are as well because he's coming in at -400. Adefugha hasn't looked good. He's 38 plus 380. I don't think he's one of the dogs that are barking this evening, but I don't have an official play. I don't know if he's trustworthy to lay the chalk with Ty Miller in one of his first fights.
No.
So
not yet. I mean, I agree that he should be favored. Almost a $5 favorite, though. You're right. Adefugha has not looked good in the UFC, but I like some dogs I writ down on my nice my nice legal pad.
Right on.
But not just yet. We're not going to start barking early, kid.
No. And the fight placement for the Smothering fight would have been next, but that of course is off. So here is Josh Hockett at the heavyweight division.
Your boy.
Yeah, is he? -215 on the books against Denzel Freeman, who has some wrestling in his back pocket, but +205. Yet again, I'm not getting involved, and I don't have an official play here. I don't think personally the dogs are barking, but I just didn't want to lay it with who you said, Josh Hockett. I don't know. You got a pick?
No, I do think Josh Hockett will win here, though. Maybe it's a parlay piece for you. I'm just excited to see his promo that he's going to cut. He's going to cut something crazy on Paramount. They were like, first guard of Paramount, we need you to kick it off.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could see the athleticism showing him getting out of there in the first round, getting a win there. It makes it all the better, the post-fight presser for him. But I didn't want to play it. But my verdict prediction does have him with a first-round submission. Let's see if Denzel Freeman can, maybe prove me wrong. So,
all right.
But I will get involved in this next fight. I have to here, I like this lightweight matchup here because Alex Hernandez, as we've known to come, and I keep mentioning it time and time again, he's like a legend killer. Like they keep setting him up against these veterans, and he's found success, historically. But there's two that kind of stick out to me that he hasn't done so well. I think it was Abel Algeo he had a loss against, and Damon Jackson, and I see that Michael Johnson here on this 3-fight win streak, he just looks to be faster than he was his first comeback because this is his second comeback. I remember there was a hiatus for Michael Johnson for MJ first time around after his long stint in the UFC, but he never left the promotion. He's been UFC stalwart throughout, and I got to back MJ here. I know.
Wow.
Like I said, the percentages may lie in favor of against veterans. Only 2 times out of about the 7 or 8 times Alex Hernandez fought opponents over 35 years of age that he's got a victory. But I like Michael Johnson here in this spot. I think the dogs are finally barking, and let's get involved in here early with a dog pick. +145. Give me MJ.
Yeah, I'm going on the other side. I actually agreed with Dan here. -110. I even see even money. So money is actually siding with you. So sharps are on Joey's side with Michael Johnson. And to be honest, I love the last fight. We both were on him against Zell Huber, and he just dominated Zell Huber. And no one predicted that. He was a huge underdog there. Now he's getting respect from the books, but my boy Alexander Hernandez is a fucking beast. These last 3 fights against was it my boy Kurt Holloway, Chase Hooper, and Diego Ferreira. 3 great opponents, 3 wins. This is a clash of styles, and I think power has to go to Alex Hernandez. I think if he catches Michael, I'm a big MJ fan, but I just think Alexander Hernandez is going to win 2 of the 3 rounds. So I think the slight edge has to go towards Alexander Hernandez. I kind of disagree with the line, but the sharps are going towards your way. So, hey, we're on the opposite sides in this
opposite sides to start. First of the year. It's a great start. But yeah, Diego Ferreira did lose on his last fight to Alex Hernandez. I think he got finished. And
he got finished, yeah.
Look what Diego Ferreira did to MJ a couple years back. He starched him. He did. But MMA math is never really exact.
It's like Dylan's math. It never fucking equates.
It doesn't work out. So, but we got another Johnson in this next one, and it's my favorite division, the flyweight division. Yep. Alex Perez, you did say he missed weight, but the fight's still on, and he's at a dog price, plus 160. I think Energy Johnson here, I think you got to take him, minus 165 on the money line, and he's capping off my Johnson & Johnson parlay, first parlay of the year. MJ and CJ, Michael Johnson and Charles Johnson, them two together, giving you odds of about plus 196, depending on when you got it. It could vary, but yeah, Johnson & Johnson parlay. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, I got him minus 165 is a really good number. I got him at minus 180. I put him in a parlay. I love Charles Johnson. He's one half of my parlay up in the main card. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, I love Charles Johnson in this fight. I mean, coming off that knockout win against Loner Kavanaugh, I think he has tremendous hands. I think he's going to carry the speed in this fight here against Alex Perez. And like Dan mentioned, same thing, and we'll get it to the main event. I never want to back on a guy who might have one foot out the door.
It's tough to do so.
It's tough thing. This sport is so demanding and needs everything out of you. You need to be all in, and if you're not, you're gone. And I just think Charles Johnson's the wrong opponent for that. So one of my favorite plays of the weekend, he's going to be one leg of my 2-leg parlay. So stay tuned. But yeah, I'm all over Charles Johnson.
Awesome. I love hearing the multiple parlays from you. Hey, we're turning over a new leaf here in 2026, D-Rock. Am I right?
You're right, kid.
But we're on the same side, man. And so let's see how we line up in the next one. I think as we talked to Dan before, this light heavyweight matchup between Nikita Krylov again, Modestas Bukauskas, he's just looking involved. He's looking like a real complete fighter now, and we're getting him at a light price, minus 135 compared to the plus 125 of Nikita Krylov. I think the game has passed Nikita Krylov, so I'm all in with you possibly, because me and Dan, I think, are seeing the same way. Modestas Bukauskas straight up.
100%. I got it at minus 144. I think it's a very playable play. If that's a play on words, if that's even a real sentence.
I've heard that.
Minus 144, I think, is very playable. And against, I said in the interview, I was a big Nikita Krylov fan. Took the years off, and he's gotten knocked out twice. He's taken a lot of mileage, and he just doesn't have a chin anymore. Against Bukauskas, who has tremendous power, I think the knockout, and Dan alluded to it, I think it's worth a play. I think it's at plus 145 right now. I think it's worth a little sprinkle of maybe a half a unit, quarter of a unit. I think that's worth the play, but Bukauskas is definitely a great play here. Minus 144.
I like the under in that fight. Like if I were to touch a total, I don't think I have any to start the year, but I think I would look at the under. I do think Bukauskas can win in the first round. And yeah, how else other than the TKO. So
the 2026, the year of totals, huh, kid?
Oh, well, we'll see if we get into that at all. But this middleweight matchup is intriguing to me, man. I think Teba Gautier, everyone is putting him in their back pocket. He's expecting to get a complete knockout here, which is something he's relied on, and it's worked for him time and time again. I do think he has some vicious power at 185. And with a win over Andre Puliev, I do think he's going to start knocking to the top 15, maybe possibly get ranked, but he's going to have to go through some opponents. And I just haven't seen too much evolution from the guy, right? Like we're going to lay minus 165 on, I know, look at the opponents he's got. These guys were all really low level fighters, the first 3 fights in the UFC. And granted, they're all out of there in the first round, but man, maybe he gasses. If Puliev, who I've seen, granted his amateur ranks, he did horrible. If you look back at Puliev's amateur rank, I think he went like 2-4. So in this pro ranks, though, he's got a couple of losses, but he's never looked out of the fight ever. You know he's going to have a gas tank, and if he has proven anything in his last fight, he's definitely UFC material. So I think this is an intriguing dog to take here, and I think I'm against a lot of people. I've been trying to go against it. We'll talk about it on our next show, the other show we have, about fading a lot of the public, and I think this is somewhere I'm going to do the same. I'm fading the public, and I'm going to go Andre Puliev at plus 650, complete value. We've known what happens with these big layouts. It doesn't work out. A lot of these underdogs tend to hit.
Yeah, no play for me in this one, kid.
All right.
It was either I was gonna take Gautier, but
first round knockout.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think you could possibly take from him. Yeah. But I think you got to hear what I'm going to say about Umar Nurmagomedov and Deiveson Figueiredo on this next one, because Figueiredo has shown signs of the same thing that had plagued him at 125, is the inconsistencies he's making the weight against the scales, his biggest opponent. And I think the odds indicate that he's not only going to be outmatched here, but now you look at the physicality standpoint and the guy who has shown fatigue in the latter rounds. I was all in on this earlier in the week, and Umar Nurmagomedov, the way to get the value out of this minus 1,000 favorite here, I mean, 100 to 1 is absolutely crazy to hear for a non-champion. I think that's just what we expect out of him. Like I said, I have a future riding him. And so one of the rare occasions I'm not hedging, I'm going in on Umar Nurmagomedov to win in round 3. I think by that time he will have broken down Deiveson Figueiredo, and I think he can hunt for a submission or even a TKO finish. So yeah, Umar win in round 3 plus 850.
I agree with Dan. I just think there's going to be no way for Deiveson Figueiredo. I mean, he's had some trouble here in this division since moving on up to bantamweight, and I just think Umar is a beast. I just think he's eventually going to cripple him until it's no more. I like fight to go to the distance at minus 135. I think he goes all 3 rounds. Figgy has shown that he is durable. He is capable of not getting finished. And Umar really doesn't finish guys. That's the thing. He kind of just pressures you.
Yeah, I went against that. I went against that a little bit.
Yeah, so I just think the fight's going to go all 3 rounds, and he did miss weight, so he's going to have a little advantage there. But, yeah, I like fight to go the distance. If you want to take Umar via decision, I think that's a safe bet as well. But, yeah, that's how I'm going to go.
I think we're slowly seeing the tide changing with the weight misses. I think you're seeing less of it working as an advantage, and it's more going to be a disadvantage for these guys missing weight. So now we start the main card, and I think this is a great main card for the Paramount debut. I think they're getting a good couple fights, and it's back-to-back. We're getting another one next week, so do not hold your breath. Let's go into this featherweight matchup between Arnold Allen and John Silva. I mean, I don't think it really should be this much a favor for John Silva. Arnold Allen at plus 240 here. Man, I might want to eat it up. I don't know. Minus 245 John Silva is just a little pricey to me. I see the finishing capabilities, all the aggressiveness, like we said. It's kind of scary and intimidating when you see a guy across it. And it just came out. I don't know. Some people see it as cringe, but it just shows the passion he has when he's crying in front of the belt. I don't know if you saw the embeddeds or the Wayans or anything. Did you see any of that?
Yeah, I saw him cry.
Yeah, he was crying in front of the belt. So I mean, he wants it, but I mean, he's gonna have to get through Arnold Allen. And for all the naysayers saying Arnold Allen's out of it, I don't think so. I think he's got some of the best in-pocket boxing. And I don't think John Silva really thrives in that situation. Of course, he's going to want to make you fight his fight, but maybe Arnold Allen changes it up and maybe he gets John Silva to fight his fight. So I'm going to take the dog. I'm going to take Arnold Allen to kick off the main card and give me the plus 240 price here.
Yeah, I worry about the long layoff for Arnold Allen here. I kind of understand the line here and the whole thing with the crying. He's just passionate. The guy wants the belt. Who cares? Yeah. I appreciate that. I did find it funny that he was saying, I found out I was autistic. I think me and Arnold Allen are both autistic. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Out of their minds.
Yeah, they're fucking nuts. But yeah, I'm going to take Lord Silva here. I just think he's better everywhere, honestly. And I just think eventually he's going to crack Arnold Allen. And minus 212, good parlay piece. But I'm going to take Lord Silva here.
There you go. So, I mean, this is a head-to-head in that last one, but I think this one is where it's going to really weigh heavy for us into our future bets and everything. This flyweight women's matchup has Natalia Silva, minus 300, taking on Doug Rose, Nama Yunus, plus 350. D-Rock, I got to get your opinion first on this. The dogs are barking in this, right?
I mean, what are we talking about? Plus 335. You talked about Arnold Allen being a huge dog. Champion future Hall of Famer Rose being this big of an underdog. Get the fuck out of here. I like plus 3.5 at even money as well. She's gonna steal around. She has pedigree, championship experience, and she's been in dogfights. Like Dan said, Natalia Silva has not been in a dogfight, and credit to her because she is as advertised.
Yeah.
But Rose is gonna bring it to her. She is going to bring it to her.
Size advantage, right, Rose? She looks bigger, right?
She's the bigger fighter, so she has great takedown defense. We'll see how she does up in the stand-up game, but I just think based on pure value, you have to go with Rose shocking the world again, and if she does, she's next for Valentina.
Yep, but so is Natalia Silva. If she gets through a former champion, Rose Namajunas, I think with everything we've seen, the speed, the finishing capability now, it'd be a shock to me if she can get Rose Namajunas out of there, I think. But I'm going to go.
Do you really think that? Do you think she could take Rose out?
I that's why I don't have that as my play. Because I do think that if Natalia Silva wins, it may be with her winning only 2 of the 3 rounds. I agree with everything you and Dan spoke about. So I have Silva via decision. I didn't want to lay the unanimous to try to get those odds even better. A minus 180, I'm fine with that. But yeah, I think you're right. You could be one of being a split either way. I think this is how close it gets with Rose being as smart of a fighter as she is. But yeah, Natalia Silva's the future. And we've talked about it time and time again. I can't be fading her at this point. So I just, like I said, I think it's going to be much, and it'd be a shock to me, and that's why I asked if she does get Rose out of it, what do you do with her? I think it's going to rocket right to the title, but a victory via decision does set her up pretty well as well. So minus 180.
It's a title eliminator. No matter who wins, they're next.
Yeah, I think you got to give that to either one of these fighters.
But she's our intro. I got to go with my girl Rose.
There you go. No change here. That's staying no matter what now. Yeah. That's one of the most intensest calls. Yeah. I mean, we got to see if 2026 going to give us anything.
I hope so.
But this heavyweight matchup does have another future ticket for you. Waldo Cortez Acosta. I mean, sportsbooks love him. Minus 300 here. So I guess a lot of people are backing him as well, and they see that potential in him. It was ability to mix up the wrestling now, and he throws 90, 100 miles an hour at your freaking head. So, I mean, are you going to be backing him again here? Because I'm going to just simply pick Derek Lewis. There's one way to bet him. I'll just play the plus 285, but I think it's first round KO, TKO if you're going to get some props involved. But I don't have that officially, but I think as the line indicates, the KO, TKO is just as even as the money line, and you got to squeeze it a little bit more. It's going to be in the first round.
Yeah, plus 280. I talked about the dogs earlier on the card, and this is where they're coming out. Give me Derek Lewis here. I got plus 270, but I'm seeing plus 285 right now, so shop around.
Really?
What?
You're betting Derek Lewis?
Of course.
Oh, my God. So So how's Acosta get back to the title picture?
Like the Iceman said, if there's a will, there's a way.
Okay.
So I think he loses, and then he wins 2 in a row and gets back. And the last pay-per-view,
heavyweight division is.
And the last pay-per-view of 2026, Waldo Cortez will be undisputed. Shout out all my Dominican friends. But this is not a slight against them. It's just Derek Lewis looks good right now. Like 6-pack, he feels good. And with heavyweight, as you know, you might throw 100, but you've never been touched by the beast. And if you do, you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
So I think he's in great shape right now. I think he has the tougher experience as well. He's fought the better competition as well. And I really still don't trust Waldo Cortez Acosta. I really don't. I think some of his wins have been fluky these past few ones. I mean, if you look at the last one against Gizayev, he knocked him out in the first round. But Ante Delia, he got knocked out and then wind up knocking him out.
Yes, let's not forget that.
And Sergey Pavlicek beat him. I know people say it was a robbery, but he did lose that fight. So I don't know. The hype isn't all there for right now yet. But after this, we're going on the trade, baby.
I love the hedge.
Yeah, hedge. Give me Derek Lewis plus 285.
Great value from the Knockout King. Let's go into the now co-main event, because mind you, we're supposed to have Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison. Speedy recovery wishes to Kayla Harrison. Let's hope to get that fight. But Sean O'Malley takes center stage with Shlong Yadong. And they're giving Yadong plus 185 here as the dog value. We were talking about it leading up to this. but minus 190 with Sean O'Malley is something I think is very fair. I think the speed, the reach, the ability to control distance will play a factor over the course of 3 rounds. And, his grappling is good. I know Song Yadong has got the alpha male wrestling, and he has power and he has speed. He definitely does as well. But I just think that Sugar has a little bit more to give. And through 3 rounds, I favor it. So minus 190. Is the TKO on the table here? I guess it's live. That's why I'm just playing the money line, the straight pick. But I think more or less you could see a decision outcome, and it can go either way. But I'm going to go with Sugar Sean.
Yeah, so by the way, I love how you say Sang Yadong. Sean O'Malley and Charles Johnson are my 2-leg parlay at plus 122. I think this is a great get right spot here for Sean O'Malley. Like you mentioned, the reach, the speed. I think he has the power advantage. And yes, he's going to continue to go forward, Song Yadong, and he's going to apply pressure, and he's tough as nails. I don't think, you mentioned the knockout, I don't think he'll be able to put him away. Kind of will play with his food a little bit, kind of get back into it. He's had a long layoff here. Good spot. And Dan made a really good point, and it was part of my handicap. The takedown defense has been really good for Sean O'Malley. Yes. So if you're able to stop, what was it, 9 of 13?
It was probably more than, I think it was more than 10.
Yeah, of Merab Dvalishvili, then you're going to be able to defend deep doubles from Song Yadong.
Yeah.
So, give me Sean O'Malley. I took him as one of my parlay. I also like the over 2.5 rounds as well.
That's why I said I favored the decision. If he gets him, it'd probably be like just accumulation of punches, a war of attrition late.
Yeah, the fight to go the distance is minus 215. Over 2.5 rounds is minus 265. But maybe like a same game parlay, you put over 2.5 and Sean O'Malley money line, you get a little plus price. So yeah, I like the over as well.
We both got Charles Johnson in a parlay apiece. I'm guessing
heavy on Charles this weekend.
Yeah, heavy on Charles. I'm guessing you have a piece in this main event, as you said, you had another parlay brewing for us. So. As for the interim lightweight championship between Justin Gaethje, the books have at plus 220, and Paddy the Baddy Pimblett at minus 225. Who do you got?
Oh, Paddy the Baddy. I mean, what are we talking about here? Another thing, like I said, Justin Gaethje and his guy Trevor Whitman saying if this is not it, then we're done. And he talking about if he didn't get this fight, they were going to quit. I don't want to back guys like that anyway. So
spoiled.
Yeah, he's spoiled. He thinks everything. And then he's coming out saying, I'm going to beat this English fuck. Okay. You're the one who got.
He was been like going at media too. Like he was kind of hostile towards media. I know maybe crossing the line would mention the fighters like, body. I guess, but it's a journalist's ability to investigate. Like it's their duty and to do their due diligence to do their job. So, he was kind of shooting down everyone. I guess it's his job to do that as well, but maybe there was a little bit of hostility towards there that we might not have liked.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, I can't back him in this spot. I just think, I mentioned it on the interview, I just think Paddy's gotten better every fight. Now, he's a little cringy for my liking, but I'll admit it. Hand up, I was wrong on him. I didn't think he was going to be this good, and he is just getting better. He manhandled Michael Chandler.
He's a man now.
And he's a man. His jiu-jitsu is really good.
Black belt.
His power. Puts his hands down a little too much for my liking, but if he could withstand if he could withstand the early flurry of Justin Gaethje, he's going to cruise, and he's eventually going to put him away later in the fight. Like you said, this is my second parlay. Same game parlay as well. Going to go Paddy on the money line and the over 2.5 rounds. I think he puts him away later in the fight. You could get that at plus 174.
Yeah, I'm with Paddy to Baddy. It's hard backing Justin Gaethje. I think the discrepancy here is the ground game. I think if it hits the mat, I think people had described it before. And Dan, I think, said it was fish out of water from Gaethje. And, the wrestling has always been there, but it was more of like his kind of wrestling. When he's on the defensive, it's just not there. And I got to go with Paddy. I think that weighs a lot. I think you get gassed there easily. I think Paddy can then start fighting his fight. And then dropping your hands while you're having those type of exchanges while you're the fresher fighter doesn't mean as much. You're probably going to be able to take a shot. As you said, the scouts just don't get knocked out and deliver your own without having to worry about losing the cardio base. So, yeah, I think Paddy Pimblett is the right side. I'll lay the number 2, minus 225. I might have a little something for you before we get out of the show.
I love it, kid. Well, good luck. Like I mentioned, early start time on Paramount, 5 p.m., early prelims. The prelims go off at 7. Main card, 9 p.m. at the T-Mobile Arena in lovely Las Vegas. Good luck. Enjoy the fights. Should be a really good one. Kid, got some news before we get out of here. I got 2 fights announced. Ryan Superman Spam out. Dalton Almeida steps in to take Rivian Kunaev, UFC Vegas 113, February 7th. Do you like this? I guess
it's winnable.
It's winnable for
Almeida. Yeah. It is. That's all I see it. Rizvan hasn't impressed, and after popping, he's looked a shell of himself physically. Also, the performance wise, he hasn't had the cardio or the strength that we've seen in fights past. So, yeah, Almeida actually probably getting a favor here, stepping in, doing the company a favor. So it works for both parties.
100%. And then we got another Apex fight announced for March 14th, UFC Vegas 114. The Action Man is back in action. Chris Curtis will take on Matik Olabai.
Oh, Mike Techbeck. Olabai.
And that is a scary fight for Chris Curtis.
Yeah, I think he's got great takedown defense, right? Chris Curtis really does, and he thrives standing. He really likes fighting. I think I see that. That's why him and Sean Strickland get along so well together. But I don't know, Orabai. I think he's a beast. He's a problem. It's the weight. Once again, another fighter that struggles with the scale. But if he could conquer that, then I think he could be on his way.
And we have great news out of the PFL. Don Davis is stepping down from his role as chairman of the PFL. I'll say this once and I'll say it again.
He held it down.
I'll say this once and I'll say this again. Never trust anyone who turns their comments off. They are a rat. The worst thing you could do, and the worst thing that was done that the PFL did, was buy Bellator. It's all been downhill from there. And Jake Paul, his affiliation with the PFL is no more.
Francis Ngannou's was the same thing.
It's trash.
I don't know. There's got to be a little more authority there. I maybe was it Jeff Martin is now taking over?
I think Don Martin, I think, is his name.
I think it's like a Jeff Martin or something.
All right, well, whoever.
He's got to do a better job. Let's just be real.
Who was the owner of Bellator? What was his name?
Who was the president at the time? Scott Coker?
They need him back.
Bring Scott Coker in the mix.
You bring authority back, like the authority in the WWE.
There we go. I like it.
Authority.
Bring back, something that worked.
Yeah.
It didn't work that good. But I think you can maybe give him another chance, right? Someone who's familiar.
Don Davis should be.
No, I'm talking about Scott Coker. The same thing can be said. A lot of people are against Scott Coker, but
he built Bellator.
I believe in second chances, so why not?
I believe. Well, who is that guy? The WWE guy?
Is it your guy, Joe Hendry?
Yeah. I believe in Joe Hendry. By the way, I mentioned Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, Deontay
heavyweight clash in London across the pond, April 4th against Derek Chisora.
Okay.
Good fight. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good matchup for both of them. So let's get it done. Let's go sit down and watch these two slug it out. I think a knockout's incoming.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's make boxing great again, kid. All
right, let's do it. 2026.
Kid, that's all we got. By the way, remember Zuffa Boxing 1 tonight.
Yeah.
Watch it. Headlined by Colin Walsh taking on Carlos Ocampa. Jersey's own Julian Rodriguez is on the card as well. I think he's the third fight on the main card. So check that out. Kid, 10 seconds left. Take us home. What do you got?
Doubling down. We started off first couple picks for the UFC for 10 seconds left in 2026 with Patty the Batty Pimblett. I think here's a surprise and a shock to a lot of you. What's really given the chalk is the submission, and I feel like that's the easy way out. I think Patty is going to show that he's a lot better than a lot of people anticipate, and I think he can get this done any which way. And I think that if he does get it to the ground, I think the ground and pound TKO finishes are absolutely live. There's going to be a lot of unanswered shots on the ground. And if they accumulate too much, I think that's on the table. So let's do a double chance. Let's do the 2 pick between KO TKO for Patty Pimblett and the via decision or on points. And that's plus 230, because if you did, the submission with the inside the distance or with the submission with the points, it's all chalk. It's all favorited. So I think they're thinking that Patty's going to get this to the mat and that he's going to sub him. But I think a lot of people aren't saying that Patty has the ability to strike on the feet, opening up the KO TKO, and then he has the ground and pound also there as well. So plus 230 for that.
I love it. Let's just do it in round 3 or 4. We'll hit our over 2.5.
Yeah, especially there, both a little bit of tiredness, but Patty shows to be the younger, fresher fighter.
I love it, kid. Good luck. Enjoy the fights. Thanks again to Gumpy for coming on. And kid, what are you doing? You going to B-dubs?
Probably. Well,
be safe. You got
a couple
that
of rounds
snowstorm,
in,
kid.
Oh, I don't know. They're not too far.
Yeah, they're not too far, kid. Well, good luck, everybody. Enjoy the fights, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.